Bonjour, this is the Notorious DID. I am Valpray. Today we are having a rough day because we are cocon. We is me and Solara. On days when you're cocon or coconscious, it can be very, very hard on you. You may say, well, if there's two people, then it should be more productive and easier. This is not the case, because at any given moment, we can switch out. This is very hard and difficult on the body. What we're going to do today, because we are constantly switching out, is we are going to let you know individually between myself and Val how we feel about the situation and how our body feels about the situation. For me, being co-conscious means you are only working at a half level. It does not mean that you have two people working hard at one thing. It means that you're only, what does it talk about? Okay. We share the same information mostly when we're co-conscious, but we're also limited. I agree with Solara that it's like you work at a half-mast because you are not fully you. You're not at your best, if that makes any sense. You're only halfway at your best. I personally feel weighted. I feel fatigued. I feel nauseous. There's a lot that takes place that is heavy on the body when you're constantly switching out. Sometimes visibly, sometimes seamlessly, when you're just in the motions of doing something, and then your other alters are just there, and it's hard to live a life or go into society because society is not forgiving. I think we all know this at this point. Society is not a forgiving place, and it's very scrutinizing and very embarrassing and very hard on you to, when you have these things going on. You have a moment of catch up. So when we are going back and forth, there is usually a bit of a delay. It's almost like your mind has to catch up with you. It has to realize what is taking place. Well, the body's mind, however you want to look at it. It's difficult to sustain anything on these days. I personally have really bad anxiety at times. And socially, I am not comfortable with going around people most of the time. I can fake it and put on a smile sometimes when I absolutely have to. But when we are in this state, there is really just no way that I know of that that's going to work, especially with me being cocon with Val. because as you see, when you're constantly going back and forth, even trying to maintain a conversation or maintain anything, you may jointly share certain things and understand certain things, but it's not like two people being able to productively get something done. It's not like, well, there's two of us here. We're going to really get something done today. Or there's at times there may be more than two. Never is have I encountered where there was more than two of the primaries. But sometimes we have a third party or even sometimes fourth party temporarily that interchange with us. That's another altar. I do not know if it's more stress on the body when there is more primaries within the body or coconscious, but it seems to be a little bit more so. Excuse me. I've been had some allergies because of the pollen, so there's a couple of times I may have to pause the video in. You can literally feel, best way for me to explain to you is almost like a rush. For us, it's almost like a rush from the bottom up, like going upward. And then almost like you pop out and you're there. It's a feel, you can feel the switch. You can feel the change when it takes place. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes, we may be in the middle of watching something. There may be an unknown trigger that we do not know about that switches us seamlessly, but that doesn't happen a lot. Usually it is visibly there as well as physically it can be felt. I don't feel as ill or fatigued as Val does. So I feel bad for her because I don't have that sickness. I don't have that. I mean, I feel like me. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel sick. I feel a little off. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen. And obviously, I am a little off. Half off, if you could. Not a joke. It's not funny. But we are working in conjunction, trying to get something done. And today, you don't know when it's going to take place. There's no way to tell ahead of time because there's no psychic ball that can tell you, well, tomorrow you are going to be co-conscious. And that means you're hardly going to get anything done. That's exactly what that means. That means simple things that you had planned to do, you may not be able to do. You may have to set aside for another day. You may have to figure out exactly what you can productively do or exactly what you can't. Sometimes, depending upon how bad or how heavy the body may feel, or like I say, Val is feeling pretty sick. Sometimes we may not get hardly anything done. This video is a step up for us to be able to make, because if I was feeling as sick as she is, probably this wouldn't even be taking place. This wouldn't even be occurring. I feel weighted. I do understand that Solara said that she's not feeling bad. I'm happy that she's not feeling bad. I don't want anybody to feel bad. It's like at the base of my head, I feel uncomfortable, a pain. Not so much a headache, but a pain is there. And I'm glad that she doesn't feel this, because I wouldn't want anyone to. To me, it's difficult, or it's hard enough with be in the body on a regular basis. When you are coconscious, it is an impossible, horrible situation. You don't have the ability to even 100% be yourself. You'll find yourself say or do things that is made almost like twisted together with the other party. And I do not like that, because I like to be myself. I'm sure you can understand this. You like to be yourself. It's hard to work it. It's almost like, if I were to say, how best way to phrase, if you took your brain and you have somebody else's brain here, and you have your brain here, and it's half of each, is this is what's almost like, you don't feel like yourself, you don't feel like the other person, but you don't feel like yourself either. And we may attempt to try and do something that we can both do. We can both write. Maybe we will attempt to work on the book we have. Maybe we can figure out how to sort for the best to come of it. But I don't know. Sometime when this happens, you just have to step back and say, well, today is a wash. Today, forget it. You're not gonna do nothing. You cannot go in whatever you're going to do. Go out into the yard and clip things and constantly be switch on. And the neighbors, some of the neighbors have an idea, but most of them do not. And if you're out there, sometimes you unconsciously will speak to each other out loud. We try best not to, but sometimes you unconsciously do it because you're talking to somebody else. And priorly, this kind of thing is difficult for people with dissociative identity disorder, because the first when you first speak with a specialist and things like these, they always want to jump to schizophrenia. We're not schizophrenic. We have D.I.D. We're finally diagnosed after a long, long haul with D.I.D. And but as I said before in a prior video, the diagnosis does not change the facts. It don't change the facts of what is. And I have to agree. I did hear that, and I do agree. The diagnosis doesn't change the fact of how you're living your life with multiple other people. It doesn't change the fact of how you're going to live your life, or how you're going to have to manage to live a life with all these other alters. It just is, it doesn't. And she may be right. Today may be a wash. I don't know. I don't know. But as being a primary, the three when the three of us have anything to do with anything, we have to try and make it work, because there are the three of us that all the other alters are depending on to make some semblance of order out of chaos. And this is complete chaos. Now, when there's more than just two of us, and then there's fast switching and things like that, no. You want to talk chaos? You don't even have time to realize or think about who you are. You are just trying to step a foot down. You know how, like, you're at the beach. You dig your feet into the sand so that the water, when the water's coming up, or you're deeper into the water a little bit, so that you don't move. So you have more stability. That's kind of, first of all, that's kind of our life. But second of all, when you are having fast switches or multiple switches, things like that, that is what you are doing for most of that day. You are digging your feet down deep in that sand as far as you can to try not to get washed out to sea and somebody else bouncing in. And it is damn near impossible. I'm not going to lie. It is damn near impossible for that to take place. Just a lot of things to do with this disorder are just fucking impossible. Pardon my French. And there's nothing to do about it. It's our life. It's what we have to do. It's what we live. There's just nothing to do about it other than that. I do want to say that we try our best. We really do. We try our best. And that's all you can do as a human, let alone an individual alter that's in a large system. We thank you for listening and watch, and I hope this was helpful to someone, and I hope this is also helpful to us and our other alters, so we can start to try and understand and try and even make things a little better, unless a little better, because you can only do what you can do. It's all you can do. That's it. You can only do it and try. Please like, share, subscribe to our community. We welcome you with open arms. Comment. We do respond to all comments. We listen to you. This is our life. This is our life, and we're sharing it with you because we want awareness and understanding for this disorder that is so misunderstood throughout the world. If you are interested, please hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications anytime we upload videos, and you can be one of the first to watch. I personally thank you for coming. I am Valpray with we're running a bit with the video. I think she covered some of the topics, so what I'm going to say is this is a real situation. It is a real life occurrence. It may be rare, but there are many people who do have DID and many people who have not even been diagnosed properly with it. We send our heartfelt thoughts to anyone that is having to deal with this, because it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. I feel us dissociating a lot here, and so I'm going to cut this video. And I just thank you. Thank you for coming. This has been the Notorious DID. I am Solara. Bye.